Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the iRacing Esports Network and to Apex Racing TV for the ARL Touring Car Championship. We're here at the Phillip Island Circuit in Australia. Andrew Woodhouse here alongside Adam Bath. And Adam, well, it's going to be fun for Sam Kumar on the cameras tonight because this is a fast circuit. It is a flowing circuit. The times are going to be very close. The drivers are going to be very close. And we're going to see some great action, I'm sure, over the 3 rounds.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Phillip Island, usually the curtain raiser to the season, but it's been pushed a little bit further back. And yeah, it's guaranteed to provide 3 excellent races, I reckon. Plenty of overtaking opportunities. There's the long slipstream down the front straight as well. And a very tricky first corner where if you're going wheel to wheel with someone, you need to be careful because otherwise you could go and end up running off into that grass. And once you go on there, it's very difficult to get back off it again. So yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah, one of the shorter laps of the season in these Audi RS3 TCRs, and 1 minute 38 we're looking at for this. Only 4.4 kilometers, as you can see there, as we go live to practice. And the first man that we see on the screen is Wojciech Savinovic, the multiple-time champion. And there's Jamie Rushworth, who was a champion as well in the past. He's 14th in qualification at the moment. It's Kieran Harrison on provisional pole. Preben Vala, Adam, the AM driver, they're in second position.
Yeah, very interesting times at the moment as the practice session, yeah, indeed, is coming to a close. And I wonder if this will carry across towards qualifying because, yeah, TC Motorsport looking very good. So too Fiercely Forward as well. So plenty to watch out for in the very short qualifying session we've got coming up. Just 15 minutes.
Yeah, and these sessions, they really do put the pressure on the drivers to get good lap times in. And we see the stampede for the exit of the pit lane, Adam, as we saw in Monza, of course, in the single seaters, the F1 meeting. And yeah, look at them all funneling out. I don't know about you, I always tended to try and get out a bit later and try and get a bit more space because, yes, even though there's a benefit of the slipstream here, I think sometimes it kind of nullifies the benefit by being a bit distracted, maybe some dirty air, maybe several things happening.
Yeah, definitely. I think most of the time, whenever I've raced in this car, it is very easy to start getting stuck in the way of the car in front of you. So when they brake, you then brake, and then that can be a bit of a dangerous situation because if they end up braking just a little bit later and go off, you'll most likely follow them as well. So the trick is to stay focused, especially in this qualifying session, and make sure you get a decent banker lap in because, of course, on iRacing, if you do pick up an off track, that will mean your lap time's immediately invalidated. So in a series such as this, it is vital that you just get a lap on the board because, as we have come to know over the past in this series, it is so close in terms of difference between different cars. You just want to make sure you're not starting at the back.
Yeah, and we're looking at John Roberts here as we were on board with him. Great on-board shots, of course. Yeah, it's tough to get that lap in, make sure it's clean. And also, we talked about the F1 meeting, actually. This does give a lot of parallels with Mugello, I feel, because it's a lot of grass to run off into. It's gravel, and it's a fairly long main straight to try and make the moves done. Trying to get the moves done, sorry.
We saw plenty of drivers doing that, none in particular, but Alex Albon was mighty around the outside at Mugello at the weekend. And yeah, you're right. I think
I wouldn't have a clue why you've singled him out, to be honest. But yeah, he did some good moves there.
The first Thai driver to stand on an F1 podium. I couldn't be more happy for him. But
wasn't the first Thai driver in F1 royalty or something? Was it?
Yeah, Prince. Prince something or other. I'm going to get told off now for not knowing that. But yeah, his best finish was a 4th, and Alex managed to trot up with the P3. And Siberia, the left-hand at the back end of the circuit, which we're just coming up to after this hairpin. It does have shades of turn 1 at Mugello. You can run around the outside there, and then you'd be in a pretty decent position for the H-head just coming after that, because that is a right-hander as well.
Yeah, I think the only trouble the drivers are going to have trying to overtake around the outside there is you get all the bits, you get all the detritus, the rubber and the rubbish out on the outside line. It becomes quite slippery, and sometimes in this car, it's just going to make the understeer worse, to be honest. What they get in the front-wheel drive car is already quite substantial. Is that pushing effect on the front wheels, of course. For those who don't really realise, well, why do these cars have so much understeer? It's because the wheels are designed to do, to turn, sort of to accelerate, to brake, or to turn, and not really do them at the same time. But the front wheel drive cars have to accelerate and turn at the same time, which means it's sort of fighting itself. Sort of the tyre doesn't quite have the grip to to go around the corner effectively. And but it does mean, Adam, as we've seen in the past, that you can do reverse donuts, and that pretty much trumps everything. As Brendan Fowler goes fastest on a 139.15.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, these are lap times getting put in at the moment. These are the first banker laps in. Jake Blackhall goes right to the very top of the timing sheets. He is, of course, at his home race, and he is hoping to make that home advantage count. And at the moment, he's the only driver that's been able to set a lap time inside the 1 minute 39, so 38.9 there early on in the session.
Our Australian viewers are going to be going crazy here. Go crazy, don't mind if I do. As I nearly said Alex Albon, as Jake Blackhall, that's your fault, goes to the top of the timing sheet, and yeah, well deserved if he gets on pole position. It's going to be difficult to keep it, but that is a heck of a lap.
Very decent lap indeed, yeah. The fastest lap in practice, if anyone wants to know that, was a 37.4. So I think as the cars continue to run around the circuit and get those tyres up to the perfect operating pressures and temperatures, we'll see those lap times start to come down a little bit, because yeah, 37, low 37, we are quite some way away from that as things stand.
Yeah, we do know with the Audi RS3 that it does get faster for the first few laps. Sometimes up to 4 or 5 laps you can get in with an increased pace. As we're looking now at David Baker, he's currently in 4th position. Well, Baker, he's in a good place there because he's got a bit of a slipstream on the car in front of one of the Freem cars. He's not super close where it will detract from his lap time. Valle again to the top, and this time Balfour. So Balfour usurps him, and then Adrian Campfield goes fastest, 138.27. That's excellent from the fiercely forward driver.
Very good lap time indeed, yeah, from Campfield. And yeah, we're not too far away from the 37s already, are we? Just as that happened.
that went, yeah, that sort of those times tumble quickly. And well, Campfield's shown in the ARLTC series that he's a really good peddler, and he's showing here that he can do it. Jake Blackhall, I think he's off at the moment, or was, so he won't be improving, I don't think, on this lap. Harrison in the top 3. Harrison, I think, Adam, I'm not sure if I'm right here. I think Kieran Harrison might have headed every single free practice session this season.
Campfield, yeah, has done very well, but yeah, I think he might be being removed in the session a little bit further forward. But yeah, he is top. He has been top of the standings, so at least that's a moment in the sun for him here.
Well, there you go. Might be the only one he gets. He might be eclipsed very soon.
Yeah, but yeah, the field are about to complete a whole load more laps. It's one massive train, isn't it, here around Phillip Island? Here we are looking at Kieran Harrison in P3. Just a tenth of a second away from Campfield. Interestingly enough, it's a Pro-Am driver currently on provisional pole. That's what the blue indicator means. Harrison over the line, and he does a 38.001, so we're so close to getting into the 37s already. And I think a third of the session's just gone. Campfield improves on his best, and Jack Sedgwick with the Pro licence up into P3 there with 38.1.
Yeah, it's a good lap from Sedgwick. You can see in the matte, the matte black IDC car. Ross Balfour is in 4th position. Reigning champion Ross McFarlane is in 8th currently with 138.4. Good lap time in itself. This is Jack Sedgwick then. He's hard on the brakes into the Honda hairpin. Takes a bit of a wider line, trying to maximise the exit as best he can. This is Siberia, as Adam was saying before. It's a tough corner, this. It's a bit like turn 2. It's a bit like a tighter version of turn 2 here, where it's so easy, Adam, to run wide onto the grass, and then really, the front-wheel drive car especially, you are in trouble because the wall is closed.
This wall is closed, and also because, of course, it's two-wheel drive. If you have one of the wheels on the grass and having much less grip, it's much more difficult to get the car back on the circuit again. And sometimes you might just see a few cars skating straight on if they end up putting a few wheels into the dirt on the exit of that right-hander. So you've got to make sure that you obey the track limits here, because otherwise you will certainly know about it. There's plenty of grass and gravel if you use too much of the curbs and go over and beyond that. And
Just
onto the
over,
rubber.
yeah, well, yeah, precisely. And we're still just about halfway through the qualifying session. I don't know if we can just give Sam a nudge to see if we can get the timer back up on the screen on the top. As Jack Sedgwick goes under 1:38 for the first time, then, and he goes on to provisional pole. Thank you very much, Sam. 8 minutes 48 seconds of the 15 gone, as you can now see.
Field spread between the top 5, less than a tenth of a second. That's just how close we have come to know it in the ARLTC. Some big names as well towards the rear end of the top 10. Josh Thompson there in 8th, Alex Simpson, former runner-up in the series, in 9th, and Wojciech Swijovic down in 13th place. But in reality, he's just what, half a second away from being on the front row of the grid, and a few cars backing off down the exit of the Honda hairpin, just making sure they don't impede anyone's lap time.
Yeah, I mean, you've got pole position 137.98. You can see at the bottom of the screen there, Ben Gregory 138.93 is in 20th, so less than a second between the top 20. And then actually there's only another 3/10 down to 27th place. Super close. Just 1.3 seconds then between first and 27th. And you know, I remember, Adam, when we didn't get 27 car grids in this league, and now, well, this is only 2/3 of the competitors.
Back in the day, if we fancied getting in the car for a race meeting, we thought we might be able to spring a surprise or two in the reverse grid races, but I don't even think that's a possibility for us anymore.
Not for me, anyway. You might be able to do it, but I think my talent just escaped when 2020 started. I think I've tried to find it, but I think it just disappeared.
Well, speaking of the reverse grid, it is just looking at the numbers for you for the races. We've got, oh goodness me, I think it's 40 something inverted for race 2.
40,
and then
I think it was 43.
And then 38.
Yeah,
and then 38 inverted reversed for the final race.
Correct. Spot on. Yeah.
For some reason, my sim's cutting off the second bit of the first reverse grid. So that's why.
Big reverse grids, though, mate. Big reverse grids, and we know what that means, don't we? For the second race of the day, is that you're going to get that carnage. You're going to get that. And we didn't mention, that was one thing I did want to mention. Every single time we come here, and it is usually the first meeting, so it's usually a bit of an unknown. We always get something in 1 and 2, don't we? We always get some incidents in. Because turn 1's very fast. Turn 2 is very easy to get wrong. All turns into, it gives us a fantastic combination of sort of craziness.
I think one year we came here and I think Ash Sutter managed to gain 30 plus places to win race 2 or something like that. It was a remarkable.
One of the times he got an amazing start, didn't he? And he, I think didn't he get like 17th place on the first lap or something, and then I mean, he'll do well to do that here though. He's currently down 26th place actually, Adam, and 1 second down. 1.1 seconds down. It's coming over the line now, though. Let's see.
1:44. It might have been an outlap. Just comes to my mind now. It's the video we usually tend to bring out around this time of year when we go to the Sim Expo, just for the laughs. But of course, who could forget Alex Smolensky's J-turn back here in 2015 or 2016, I think it was, when we came here in the Pro Series. That was just coming out the Honda hairpin, I believe.
The thing, I still can't believe my eyes every time I watch it. Every time I watch it, it just gets better and better. To be honest, doesn't it? Terrible J-turn. And I tell you, we did that Kia race a while ago. He managed to hit me off twice. I couldn't believe it. And he did 2 races. But Baker, here he
Yeah.
comes anyway.
I think I was getting a bit too good for them because I was on course to do well, and then I got absolutely basically eliminated from the proceedings of a couple of laps to go.
Eliminated, I
Eliminated, yeah.
suppose.
Where I think
Ma-
it off boosted. Yeah.
I was just going to say, Matthew Turnbull's up to 4th place now. So he's doing a good job in for Pure Sims OBP. And he's been leading the charge for them, actually, all season, hasn't he, really? He's been ahead of his more experienced teammates, Jake Blackhall and Michael Evdoka, quite regularly.
Done very well as Turnbull. We've seen quite a few interesting names appearing towards the front end of the grid over the last few race meetings. Barber Motorsports Park a couple of weeks back was a good example of that. And yeah, that looks set to continue here. Just looking here at Adam Hadfield.
Turnbull does lead the championship as well. It's worth pointing that out by 7 points coming into this race meeting. So not only is he outshining his teammates, he's outshining everyone else.
Just over 30 seconds to go then in the qualifying session, and then the checker flag will come out. In this series, I believe you cannot finish your lap if the moment the checker flag falls.
That's right, and that's why I think a few of them are just backing off now because they know they can't make it. You've got someone in 35th place. I think Baron Glover, he's coming around the final corner. Oh, I thought he might have been trying to get the lap in the last 20 seconds. But by now, Adam, as well, the tyres have gone off, haven't they? And they don't quite have the bite that they did. And when you go out for this single run in qualifying.
That's new. The pit lane siren there I heard as
Oh,
Baron
yeah.
Glover came into the pits.
They've got that one on the game now at the Nürburgring, that really loud one that we were always going on about when we were there. Deafening.
Yeah, might have to hear that in a couple of weeks. Jack, here's the grid then for the first race of the day, and it is Jack Sedgwick on the pole. Second is Kieran Harrison, just 21 thousandths of a second between them. Then it's Pure Sims Esports Ross McFarlane in third, just nearly 200ths behind. Then Matt Turnbull, Adrian Campfield, Jake Blackhall, Ross Balfour, the top 7 separated by less than a tenth. And Ash Sutton 8th, Dave Baker 9th, and Michael Evdoka completing the top 10. 11th on the grid is Josh Thompson. Alex Simpson there in 12th. 13th place for Adam Hadfield. Then we've got Pete Newman, Oscar Mangan, and then Wojciech Savidovic, Simon Trendle, Jamie Rushworth, Dennis Neidhart, and Previn Valor completing the top 20. 21st, Jason Stehny, then Ben Gregory, Mark Johnston in 23rd place on the grid. 24th for Darius Neidhart, and then Lee Berridge, Marius Brewer, then John Roberts, Craig Williams, Toby Ward, Mads Borger, then Nathan Davis, Scott Malcolm in 32nd place. 33rd, Jamie Wilson, and Austin Foster, Baron Glover, who we saw nearly setting a lap time there in P35. And then Paolo Bremer, the Italian, 37th. Joachim Gulbranson, Damien Harris, Norbert Leitner, Marcel Fritsch, Rob Sutherland, Mark Woodhouse there in 42nd. 43rd for Eric Mickey, then Adam Hedgecock, Kip Stevens, Fraser Smith in 46th place. And that is it. So we've got a bit of time to spare as well. So that's how the field is lining up on the 23-row grid. And we're going to get set for the first of 3 races.
We are. And, well, as the sun beats down in Australia, in the Victoria area, we're now going to see the drivers fighting to beat each other, especially into turn 1. So we're going to get 5 red lights above the drivers then. Lights are off, the race is on. It's a good start by Harrison. Sedgwick bogged down slightly. He's going to have it. Oh, he chops across him. The old Schumacher chop on the way down to turn 1. That is spicy. Can Harrison get alongside into 2? If he can. Oh, he's on the grass, Kieran Harrison. So, and he's lost 2 places then to the Pure Sims cars, the esports car, and then McFarlane takes the lead, Adam, from Sedgwick.
Oh, what a brilliant start for Ross McFarlane. Started on the 2nd row of the grid, and he's already managed to leapfrog the guys starting 1 and 2. And he leads, going through the flat-out left-hander. Now we've got to slam on the brakes. This is where things could get pretty interesting if they're not too careful. Oh, up the inside goes Jack Sedgwick. He wants to lead back.
He is, but McFarlane has the run on the outside. Didn't quite cover the line through Stoner Corner. Through Siberia then. Towards hay sheds and going to be up into Lukey Heights any second. Clean start then, pretty much. Just a couple of drivers off at the back, but nothing major, it doesn't look like. Over the top of the hill for the first time, then Harrison looking to try and get some of these positions back. He's blocked off by Matthew Turnbull, the championship leader, into MG. And yeah, it's pretty neat and tidy at the front, and McFarlane got a great getaway. That chop from Cedric, Adam, was something to behold, wasn't it? It was like Michael Schumacher.
Not seen something like that for a while, and it very nearly works. Oh,
that's Sutton.
Sutton, he's on it right from the get-go, but he might have just pushed a little bit too much to the limit there on the exit of the final corner as Evdoka overtakes his Pure Sims colleague.
Yeah, Evdoka through then. Different teams, those two, we must stress, very similar liveries of course. And off again, Sutton. So he's really struggling with the grip of that Pure Sims esports car.
Now he's going to get passed by Dennis Neidhart in the .exe esports car.
He's obviously got so much dirt on his tyres, Adam. He just can't get the grip back. He can't make any moves. Let's see if he can get on the back of Neidhart and go through. He's in trouble from Mangan though. Mangan trying to go around the outside, the former World Championship driver from Ireland. Neidhart still on the inside. And here's the battle for the lead then. It's intensifying between Cedric and McFarlane, and Jack Cedric is through. He's back into the lead of this race, but can Cedric do anything about him? Well, he's going to try and go around the outside at the top of the hill. Can he have a lunge into MG? Cedric's going to cover the inside, Adam, and really, it's the only sensible ploy down at the hairpin if you're defending, I think.
Yeah, especially for this final sector where, as much as the drivers wouldn't like it to be that way.
Oh, contact there!
Oh no, Sutton's race is really in the mud now because
Cooper is near off as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Hadfield.
I think that was Neidhart that was either on the grass and then collected Sutton coming back onto the circuit, but whatever, that has been the lap from hell for the former BTCC champion.
Yeah, terrible start for him. Still have time to come back. Of course, the reverse grid does invert 43 drivers, as we mentioned before, so yeah, I mean, he's still going to get a chance as long as he can finish the race in the points. Points in this series given out to everyone who finishes one lap down or fewer. Oh, and there's a barge there. I think that might have been Trendell, but there's Marius Brower, off. Newcomer to the series, might be his first meeting actually, Adam, and baptism of fire, I say.
Yeah, .exe fielding another car, this time with the green stripes on the entry, and there he is down in 29th place. He had made a good start, but he has lost 3 places since the lights in the early stages. As here is Jason Seth. Oh, off!
Oh, off! Trendell into the wall. Chimera. Let's have a look. So he's going through the hairpin. It's on the outside of one of the Craig setup shop cars. Oh, bang!
Don't know if he knew who was there or not. I think he might have been in the blind spot there.
A bit of neck code possibly as well. It might have been Jason Staney actually.
I think it was, yeah. I think Sam was on him just before it happened. There is the Craig setup shop car. He's managed to carry on. He's in 16th place.
Yeah, no damage for him. So, yeah, making his way along still. Preben Valor is in 15th place. He's the leading AM driver at the moment. This is the battle between Josh Thompson, IDC, and David Baker then. So Baker into 9th position. He started 9th as it happens. Behind him is Alex Simpson, and behind Alex Simpson is Wojciech Siridovic.
Yeah, Wojciech's had a good start to the race. He's one of many drivers that have gained 5 places in the early going. We always say whenever we cover this series is that he's won this title many times, and he'll be eager to try and get it back. It's the first time in a while where he hasn't been the reigning champion.
Going to get grief for not knowing the amount of times. again. But no, it's yeah, six-time champion Wojciech Swidovic, and well, he'll be hoping for a 7th one. Look at the different flags in the top 10, though. Adam, we've got the English flag, we've got the Scottish flag, British flag, somewhat confusing, flag of the Isle of Man, and Australia.
Could add Poland to that if Swidovic can get by his Apex Racing teammate Alex Simpson.
Oh, and Northern Ireland as well, which I didn't mention. Bit of a Commonwealth affair, and then we've got more of a cosmopolitan affair in the top 20. Poland, Ireland, Germany, Norway. Uganda, and the UK and Ireland flag for some reason.
Like Johnston, yeah. In, out, shake it all about. As onto the front straight we go again, and here's Dave Baker.
He'll be hoping to keep a hard border between he and Damien Harris.
Very good.
At the moment.
It's turn one we go then. I think my response wouldn't be broadcastable. Dave Baker is trying to keep Apex Racing team at bay here. He's got Alex Simpson right behind him, and of course Alex has got his teammate Wojciech Swidovic acting shotgun as well. Baker with the purple mirrors, or blue mirrors I think, from that, hard to tell, going through the Stoner Bend.
Baker, I think, yeah, the dark blue. And again, look at, this is the problem, Adam, in a nutshell. We've got the flipping Pure Sims car at the front. You've got Thompson in the Williams Esports livery. You've got Apex team, all with the same colours. I told them, I said first week, I was like, somebody change something, please. And yeah, crickets, absolute crickets.
I don't know, yeah, whenever they create the paint, they must just literally have a colour palette of one to choose from, and I don't know who it is, but it must just get passed down to every team. Because even
that'd be a really rubbish branch of B&Q, wouldn't it, if you went to the paint stand? They just went, well, you can have white, you can have black, and then you can just have this blue, and that's, I guess they've all got the same. It's like when they, there's a famous story about something being painted, something quite famous being painted a certain colour because they had like a surplus of a certain colour of paint, and I can't for the life of me remember what it is. I'll try and figure that out and get back at some point in the broadcast with that. This is side by side between Matt Johnston and Damien Harris. Harris on the outside, and this is in turn 2, Adam, and that is a tough place to hang that round the outside and stay on the track, but he's just about done it. Is he still overlapping? Just about. Tough to go around the outside here, though.
Oh, Johnston getting very close there, yeah, getting on the brakes.
Oh, he's sliding the rear of that fiercely forward car. He's done a good job there, he's through.
And look at this, McFarlane versus Sedgwick, they're at it again. Car 1 versus car 3, 2 drivers that fought it out for the championship last year through the hay shed. Now Lukey Heights, up the inside goes the black and blue car of Sedgwick, but McFarlane, he's not going to give it, is he? Up the inside into MG, no, the door is very much slammed shut. That's a move that we've seen a couple of times now tonight from Jack Sedgwick. Once he knows he's clear, chop straight across, make sure that your opponent can't get back up the inside.
They put a lot of trust in each other there, going through the big long left-hander, and you know, if you go side by side with someone, you really need to know that they're not going to crash into you. And you know, there may have been light contact, possibly in the middle of the corner. Couldn't quite tell. But yeah, very, very neat, clean driving. This is Turnbull. He is in line for a little bit of the bubbly in 3rd place. And we've had 2 weeks off. I'm allowed to say it. I'm sure you're in the comments, Alex Neller, but yeah, I'm allowed to say that. 1, 2, 3, Cedric McFarlane and Turnbull. Blackhawk still in a good 4th place. He really threw down the gauntlet, didn't he, early on in qualifying. There's now side by side as Sedgwick has to take the wide line through Stoner Bend. Has he got across again? He has. He's done that. He's doing that very well. So either he's just got really good judgment, Jack Sedgwick, or maybe a very good spotter, maybe with him as well. Who knows?
I don't think I'd be this confident if I just had one single monitor as well. Even with the virtual
That's
mirror,
true.
I think we'd have our work cut out there. You'd think it was the last lap this, but no, we're on lap 7 of 13, so we've only just crossed the halfway point, and they're going at it really well here. Was Jake Blackwell tapped just maybe slightly by Harrison there, and the Australian was a bit leery going through MG there.
Yeah, and you can be a bit leery sometimes in the slow corners, but doesn't help the exit. And you can see onto the main straight. Blackwell under pressure now from Kieran Harrison. Harrison right in the slipstream, less than a tenth of a second behind, but he can't quite pull out in time to challenge Blackwell into turn 1, which is the fastest corner on the track. It's a terrifying corner in some cars. In the Audi, I think it's one of the scarier cars to take that corner in, Adam, because you've got to get down a couple of gears. You've got to turn it in. You've got to be brave. You've got to avoid the grass on the outside. Here's a move for the lead.
He's trying again. Now, if McFarlane can hold it out around the outside, he would have the inside for Siberia, but it's just not enough for him to get alongside there. And Cedric's going to maintain his position as Harrison looks at the inside there of Jake Blackwell. No way through just yet, and as these two continue to scrap, they might start losing touch with the top 3 potentially. Through the hay shed, Harrison really knocking on the door. And he sticks out like a sore thumb because he's the only car that's not got any sight of blue on it in the top 5 as they come up to the top of the hill. Looking for the back of Jack Sedgwick then. When we get to the line, we are going to have 5 laps to go in a pretty entertaining first race of the evening. Usually, of course, because qualifying here is set on pace, the field can tend to get a little bit stretched, but no such issues here. As you can see from this rear shot, the top 12, the top dozen, all in one massive train as they come onto the front straight.
Fantastic camera work here, and a great camera position just behind the rear wing of the Audi, and Oscar Mangan's in the pits.
Was running P13, so not sure what happened. It doesn't look like he's picked up enough incident points to warrant a penalty, but nonetheless, that's the Irishman in.
Yeah, not quite sure. Yeah, it could be a corner cutting penalty or something that maybe hasn't served in time. Who knows? It does actually tell you it's a helpful feature in the new build, actually. Oh, off Preben Vala.
Oh,
So
no.
that's the lead of the AM category gone for him, at least in this race. He's 4th in the AM category in the championship. But yeah, it's gone as that now. Completely gone. But yeah, it's Gregory here in 15th place. He's currently the leading AM driver. Doing a really good job, actually, Ben Gregory. And he has done all season. He's really knuckled down. 10th in the standings at the moment overall, Adam, in the championship.
He's having a very good season so far. Here is Darius Neidhart versus Mark Johnston. Over the top of the hill, up the inside goes a Hesketh racing car. It's as tight as that right-hander is, it's remarkably tough if you're on the inside to make it stick, but Johnston's going to try. This time it's going to go around the outside of the penultimate corner. Shades of Mugello going on here. Watch out for Mads Borger as well, he's right on the back of these two as well. He might try and fancy his chances around the outside too, as they make contact at one of the corners where you really do not want to do that as they come over the road.
Probably about 130 miles an hour nearly is the speed that they were going maybe when the contact was made. Now they're doing well over that as they fly into turn 1. Good commitment shown by Mark Johnston. You wouldn't expect anything less from the Northern Irishman, but there we go. Into P19.
Back with this lot, this is on the fringes of the top 10.
3 wide.
Thompson!
Oh, just Thompson up the inside, and there's Alex Simpson possibly onto the grass. No, it's not. I think it might have been
Oh, and off!
Davidovic onto the grass. That's off for Blackhawk.
Oh no, well the Aussie was running up in 4th place at just a couple of laps to go, and now he's down to 11th.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that, but there's still a few laps to try and get back on this pack. Still ahead of Wojciech.
Oh, and off also. That's John
Oh.
Roberts. That's the boosted car in the gravel at Siberia.
Something amazing's happened. I've just remembered what I was going to say earlier, and there's a helpful feature in the new build of iRacing where it actually now tells you how long you have to serve the slowdown penalty. So it come up and say give back 1.8 seconds within the next 40 seconds or something. And that's very good, because before it was a bit of guesswork, too much guesswork for my liking, as McFarlane pushing hard then on the back of Jack Sedgwick's car, trying his best, trying to work an opening, trying to prise that door open, but can he walk through it is the question.
Top 4 now. Ross Balfour has just dropped back a little bit. There's a car off behind them. I'm not sure who that was. I think that might have been Pete Newman, but nonetheless, on the inside goes Ross McFarlane, going for the race lead with 2.5 laps to go. And he has just about done it, but is McFarlane going to, is Sedgwick, sorry, going to throw his nose back up the inside into Siberia? Looks like he will.
Oh, he is, and they bang wheel arches through there. Oh, contact again. This could allow Turnbull the chance. Turnbull's got the momentum, Adam. It's going to go around the outside of Sedgwick. It's now the inside. Oh, wow. Centimetres apart. And now Matt Turnbull up the hill. Oh, Harrison, bang. Take that, he says.
Well, by hook or by crook, I think Jack Sedgwick is desperate to win this one, and Ross McFarlane has been able to regain his composure, and he's right back on the tail of these guys. He's trying to get by Kieran Harrison, but the HM Engineering guy is saying no dice there.
Tell you what, it doesn't matter how many. I said take that earlier on. It doesn't matter how many races we do in this series. Everything changes, but you in the ARLTC, I think. As over the line we go for Kieran Harrison, as he's got a great slipstream on Turnbull. Now it'd be interesting if Turnbull versus Sedgwick is as entertaining as McFarlane versus Sedgwick. I wonder if Matt will be able to challenge. As Thompson then up the inside. Oh, Viv Tucker, and that's a big one. He's gone off big time here. He's almost, Adam, ended up on the other side of the track. Now he's going to have to come back on, I would say, close to where he left the circuit. Otherwise, he may be disqualified here.
Oh, and there's a bit of a dip there. That will almost certainly be a penalty. Never mind slowdown.
I mean, it'll be a massive slowdown at the very least.
Yeah.
He's serving it now, look, but it's going to take a while, I think. It's not quite Max Wright inventing his own circuit, but it's not far away.
Massive shame for Josh that he is now down in 16th place. Hopefully he gets to keep it, because he was on for a decent haul of points, was running inside the top 10 as well before that contact was made, and yeah, he'll be wanting that top 10 place back for good, but unfortunately I don't think he's going to get it.
That's damn it. That's Gregory up to 14th place, and Jamie Rushford, though, is trying to deprive him of it. And never forget, Adam, that we've got 43 drivers to be reversed at the end of this one.
Right, as things stand, 43 would be Eric Mickey, the independent currently shown in 43rd. I don't even think he's running at the moment, so I think he might just inherit it by default.
So it'll be Lee Berridge then at the moment, won't it? Is that how that works? I'm not actually sure how that works. Now that's how the reverse grid wheel used to work. But for us, is that if the number that was drawn, if that driver was already out of the race or too many laps down, as this train is getting closer and closer, it's like a Newton's cradle here, as they are getting very, very close together here. See. Oh my goodness, Adam. Hold on to your hats, everyone. Oh my word, it could get rather tasty.
Could Harrison win this? I don't know. Yeah, here comes Turnbull then.
We're well and truly on the main course here. Ross Balfour might win this. He's 5th place at the moment. If these guys decide that they, for some reason, don't want to see the checkered flag, Cedric leads then. Matthew Turnbull in 2nd. Harrison is up to 3rd ahead of McFarlane, so he's kept that one.
Turnbull on the inside. Oh, very close to the MG hairpin. Then I don't think he's going to be able to throw it at the inside here. No, he isn't. Oh, he just give him a nudge though.
Got to try that on the last lap, maybe unsettle him a bit. But here comes Jack Sedgwick. He's got a decent exit, I tell you. Turnbull's exit was very good. I don't think he's got enough to the line here, but it will be close, Adam.
So the checker flag then. 0.2 of a second in it. Jack Sedgwick, he's led the most laps today. He's managed to keep everyone at bay, and he wins the opening race at Phillip Island in Australia. He relights his fire, his championship defence potentially, or championship charge, I should say, is back on track with that win.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, good patience from Matthew Turnbull as well, in behind, to try and get 2nd place and extend his championship advantage. At the moment, very good indeed by him. Adam's furious. That sound you can hear, ladies and gentlemen, the sound that you can't hear is Adam furiously googling all of Take That song to see if he can get any, see if he can come back with anything. Well, I don't think he can. As Ben Gregory was high centered on the curb on the inside there, but a few drivers still just about coming across the line. Paulo Bremer, my goodness, what's going on in there? Paulo Bremer, 39th place. And he's a driver who's sort of been in and out of the championship the last 2 or 3 seasons, hasn't he?
In and out, but yeah, a 39th place finish for him would do him the world of good in race 2, as we're about to head to it now. I don't think it's the best day of Jack Sedgwick's life, but for a win in race 1, it is a pretty good job. We can even hear the PA announcers on this Phillip Island track as well now in this new build.
Well, Craig Williams is on pole, and he'll get the chance to shine in race 2 as we go very swiftly on to the grid, and it will be on the screen right now. Here it is.
So it is Craig Williams starting on pole position for race 2. Adam Hedgecock in 2nd, Sutton in 3rd. So that crash at the start of race 1 has come around to help him in terms of the starting position for race 2. Then it's Lee Berridge, Josh Thompson with that late issue, but it has meant he's starting in 5th. Then it's Paulo Bremer, who we were just talking about. Then Austin Foster, Kip Stevens, then Mark Woodhouse, and the top 10 rounded up by Joachim Gulbrandsen. And the top 12 completed by Fraser Smith and Baron Glover. And then after that, the top 20 is completed with John Roberts, who we saw off in the gravel at Siberia, then Nathan Davis, Oscar Mangan, Norbert Leitner, then Simon Trendle, Scott Malcolm, Marcel Fritsch, and Adam Hadfield. So that's how the top 20 are going to be lining up for race 2. And the rest of the field, the rest of the 40 plus car grid, scrolling through the screen now. Watch out for our winner for race 1, Jack Sedgwick. He's going to be starting in 43rd place. Only 3 cars will be starting behind him, so he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get further up the field to anywhere near where he was in race 1.
Yeah, the race is coming fast and furious in the ARLTCR in 2020. No breaks in the format anymore, apart from a small warm-up before race 3. And you see the grid cycling through there. You can see Jack Sedgwick is going to be down in 43rd position. And that's going to be a tremendous task for him to get to the front. Now, there is a slightly longer gridding procedure for this race, just to give the drivers a little bit more time to get their stuff together. And yeah, 3 minutes of gridding, so we're going to get about another 30 seconds. Who's your money on for this one, Adam? I mean, there's certainly a lot of fast drivers near the front of the grid as well.
I'm going to put my money on, I'm going to go for an outside shout here. I might go someone maybe outside the top 10, maybe someone like Oscar Mangan, but I think for the people who want to keep their money or maybe get a little bit back, I'd say Ash Sutton is probably your best bet. He's starting in 3rd place, and he'll be a man on a mission, I reckon, after the disappointment of race 1.
He will. He's going to have to hope that those seemingly sort of maybe a bit of balance issue sorted out for this race, because he needs the confidence in the high-speed corners. In fact, you need that. You certainly need that around here to do well. He didn't have that in race 1, but you know he's experienced enough. As here come the lights once more. Then, round 2 of the day, round 8 of the season. Sorry, round 11 of the season is underway at Phillip Island. It was a good start by Williams, also a decent one by Hedgecock. Someone's on the grass in the background already as a cone goes flying. That's the pit exit cone we saw going across the screen there. But we're still racing here. Nobody's come to grief completely, which is good. Oh, 2 cars on the grass here on the way into turn 2. And that car is Paolo Brema. It's an Italian. Probably saying Mamma Mia in there somewhere. He's going off through the and into the grass. In the background was someone else as well, but here's Williams into the hairpin with a clear lead. Oh, he might have outbraked himself for the hairpin there, Williams. Berridge under pressure from Thompson. Oh, Thompson's been shoveled off onto the grass.
Oh, Bremer again.
There goes Bremer. Well, there's Brouwer and Bremer, and that's not confusing at all, is it? As we go through the middle sector. Adam Hadfield. Oh, look at that. Is that Mike Johnston? And Valler, possibly?
Oh, that was. I think that was Thompson, wasn't it? Wasn't it? And Thompson and Johnston going at it
in front of these two. Look.
Oh, what on earth is that rejoin? Dear me. Well, that was Austin Foster depositing his Deso pit, his car back on the track.
You did well to say that, to be honest. I would probably call that wrong. But Foster's got Thompson for company. He's got a slipstream on Roberts. Roberts has got the slipstream on Simon Trendell. So we'll see what happens when he crosses the line this time then.
Here comes Thompson then.
Not quite carnage on the opening lap, but certainly a little bit of chaos. Kip Stevens up in 6th place for Swift Cooper Esports as well.
Oh! Foster off again.
Foster again, yeah.
It's a land off Foster's.
Oh, he's hit Valler. Valler's into the Swift Cooper car.
Oh, it's all kicking off.
Oh, wow.
Careful!
Oh, the pile-up.
Massive.
Oh, man.
God. Well, they're all going to get going again.
Track is nearly blocked, Adam, but we did wax lyrical about the dangers of turn 2, didn't we, earlier on?
And what an awful few corners, that's been for Austin Foster and Deso Pit Racing Team as well. I thought we'd get a few more cars caught up in that. Thankfully, not too many. And we've been able to carry on again. It is still Williams that leads to the end of the first lap. Then it's Sutton in 2nd, Hedgecock, Berridge, Mangan up 10 places. Then Stevens, Trendall, Thompson, then Johnston, and then Roberts completing the top 10. I don't know what happened to Joachim Gulbrandsen, because halfway around the first lap he was shown as the leader. I think he might have missed the first corner and done what Thompson did in race 1.
I saw a car off on the inside on the grass. I don't know if that was Gulbrandsen, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's not going well for him, has it? McFarlane though, making his way through the field. He's gained 14 spots already. Jack Sedgwick's done 20 spots, as is Michael Ndoka. 21 spots actually for Ndoka, up to 12th position. What a start.
What a moment this is for Craig Settleshot. They're leading the way by quite some distance. They've got a 2-second advantage to Ash Sutton in 2nd. Last time around, Sutton was...
actually.
Sutton was slightly slower than Williams on that last lap. I wonder if he'll be able to keep that kind of form going, because it's looking pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, we'll see. Williams, always a very fast driver, never really in the position to win that many races in this series. Just because of how it works out. It sometimes goes like that for the drivers in the ARLTC. Up inside goes Oscar Mangan on Lee Berridge. That was a real send, but it's gone very well indeed for him. The Irishman to 4th place.
here is Josh Thompson. He's back at it again. He's been able to get by Kip Stevens now, so he is up into 7th place, only 2 places away from where he started after the slightly tardy start that we saw earlier. And just in front of him, Oscar Mangan is trying to line up Ash Sutton for 3rd place. That is a very tasty scrap, that. Oscar Mangan, who we commentated on way back in the day, a couple of years ago in the iRacing Road to Pro, and now here he is in the ARLTC.
Yeah, he used to race for the team as well. Mangan looking good here in P4 at the moment. It's Kip Stevens. Mark Johnson's just got through on him, so I wonder if the 2-times champion is going to be able to fight back. Certainly got a good. He's almost too close, isn't he? Typically, an effective slipstream. John Roberts has done just that, but he can't lever his way past. Oh, I thought Valo was looking at the inside of Roberts there. Not quite. Marcel Fritsch goes down to 17th. He's been passed by Jamie Wilson. So Wilson up to 16th place. Alex Simpson's up to 14th place. He started in 36th place, Alan. Great start for Simpson.
Always amazed by how many positions those guys at the back can make up in these reverse grid races, but Phillip Island is a track that does lend itself to overtaking, and some of those guys have done fantastically well. Yeah, Cedric up 21 places, Ross Balfour up 21 as well, Michael Abdoka up 21, and yeah, Alex Simpson up 23. So brilliant job by all those guys. I did not expect them to see
Hadfield.
them on the timing tower this early on in the race, as yeah, problems for Hadfield.
Hadfield down then to outside of the top 20, then 27th place for him. Craig Williams was 9/10 of a second quicker than Ash Sutton on the previous lap, so Williams doing a good job out front and extending that lead. Always useful. Side by side. Oh, we've had some nonsense going on here. Gregory, and that's Marcel Fritsch for WS Racing Esports. So Fritsch off on the grass. Oh, there's a bit of, I think there might have been a bit of contact between Harris and Glover there behind. Harris is through. And the American Glover.
Little lock-up there is Josh Thompson. He's just got by Simon Schrendel, I think, so he's up into 6th place now and is only just 1 place away from being back where he started. Next up on his list are 2 boosted SimSport cars, Lee Berridge, who was in strife earlier, and Adam Hedgecock. So those are the 2 fluorescent cars he's got to get by next. And then he could be a shout of maybe mounting a late race charge to trouble Sutton and Mangan.
Stevens was having a look on Johnston there, didn't quite get alongside into the Honda hairpin. Lee Berridge and Josh Thompson continuing their battle. Simon Trendel's right on this battle as well, and he might get past Berridge, he might be able to sneak up the inside. Now, it will be ultimately a left-hander here, so Trendell will have the advantage in the Chimera car. Oh, will he? Because Berridge has gone deep. Oh, he's gone too deep, Adam. He's in the grass.
And it's a long way back from there. He's managed to make it just back on in 14th place. Is he going to lose a place to Wojciech Savinovic? No, he's able to stay ahead, is he? Wojciech's somewhere on our inside, I think. Are we going to see the Apex Racing Team car up here? There he is. And Lee Berridge rejoins in 15th place.
Nigel Mansell helmet for Berridge. Very nice indeed. I guess other camera manufacturers are available as Savinovic then continues ahead of Berridge. Evdoka sets the fastest lap, 1:38.3, and he's really on the move, is Michael Evdoka. I think he's just taken Alex Simpson, actually.
Here's a nice tasty scrap in the midfield. Jake Blackhall leading this battle pack around. Then after that, side by side between Jamie Wilson and our race 1 winner, Jack Sedgwick.
Yeah, and Cedric, he's trying to get to the front again and really stamp his authority on this race meeting. Hold on, look at that sea of competitors behind. Trying to wrestle those positions away from each other. And is that McFarlane? I think it is, with the yellow mirrors, trying to attack David Baker. Now they are of the same team, and not just the same stable. Because it was quite a big stable.
There you have the yellow mirrored Chimera car of Wilson. Baker trying to go around the outside, which will quickly become the inside on the exit of the MG hairpin, so this should work in his favour. But as we've tended to see throughout the evening, the outside line through this final sector can tend to be pretty good. Problem, that's Nathan Davis, Hesketh Racing.
Yeah,
And
with some
also off
damage.
is Jamie Rushworth for Freem UK, so more problems.
Yeah, the Freem car off. And it's going to be Toby Ward's coming up the inside here. Oh.
Off.
Oh, Skip Stevens off.
Now how's he ended up down there? And that's Michael Evdoka. More issues.
Oh no.
Just when we thought that Evdoka was really mounting a late race charge here in the second half of the race, they're off, and that's
Turn
on.
two. Oh, it's turn. Oh my word! It's before turn one.
Oh, and well, Michael Evdoka missed the tyre barrier by just a matter of inches there, and someone managed to make it. And whoever it was that was involved in that incident as well managed to get away pretty much scot-free. I don't know who it was.
That was the case of almost, you know, lesser of two evils, isn't it? Would you rather hit the barrier and be closer to the track, or would you rather miss the barrier and be off in another country somewhere? And I think that's what happened to Evdoka, but no damage, it seems, and he's still going, but he is down in 34th place now. Wow, he's charging up through the field, and that's been put paid to, hasn't it? Alex Simpson up inside the top 10, 26 positions gained.
Well, it is a track. I think it might just be the track that creates the most overtaking that we go to all season, this place. Because, yeah, we haven't seen position gain numbers this high for quite a while. And, yeah, Alex Simpson, 26 places. Jack Sedgwick up 27 since the start of the race. Oh, and who's that?
Crazy.
Was in the dirt. That was Wojciech, I think. Oh, and he's off for good. And that's no pun intended, as he goes into the grass and the gravel and comes back on the circuit, and is now going to lose another place to McFarlane, and also that is Baker as well.
Yeah, disaster for Savinovic there. And Harrison going to take advantage as well up the inside. There's the three wide in the background. Please, boys, please. Be careful. Oh! And of course, it's the car on the outside. It was the innocent, I say innocent party. He was making three wide on the outside. But Wilson got the worst of that, even though he was kind of the one who wasn't really involved in the battle, the physical battle that was ahead. Now Savinovic trying to fight back, this time on Pete Newman. After his off, three wide nearly at the hairpin between Sedgwick and Berridge and possibly Blackhall. It's all kicking off here, Adam, as people are trying to make places. I mean, we're only just in the second half of this race.
Great fight, we're loving it. And I think these drivers are as well.
This isn't going to be good.
The Hayes shed up to Lukey Height.
God.
On the outside, forging a path. On the outside is Jake Blackwell. I think he decides better of it and cuts back in to the inside while he still can.
Oh! Contact to the hairpin.
Yeah.
Simpson has hit Roberts, but Roberts has actually kept it on the track.
Look at all these guys. That's Harrison, that's McFarlane, and that's Sedgwick.
Yeah, it's all kicking off big time, isn't it? And I think it's almost moving so fast for us too fast for us to call. Here, well, this is the iRacing Esports Network and the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Adam Bath and Sam Kumo bringing you all the action here, and this is the battle for the lead. And Craig Williams, he has to have made a mistake, Adam, because 2.8 seconds has just gone down the Swanee for him. Underdone here, I suppose. We are in Australia.
Yeah. We're not too far away from Tasmania either. Here at Phillip Island. If you jump off Phillip Island and swim for a bit, you get to Tasmania. If you miss that, you're in Antarctica.
Yeah, you'll notice that when the water starts getting very cold. So Williams, I'll tell you what, the Williams will be hot under the collar now, won't he? Sutton is right there, and so is Oscar Mangan. Adam, he's right in this battle, isn't he?
Very close to grab that, and I didn't expect this to happen because you're right, Craig Williams was so far ahead. 2 seconds is quite a lot in this series, and now all of a sudden the gap's back down to nothing. And Oscar Mangan, my outside shout of a potential win here, I could be on to look quite smart here, but we'll wait
I
and
don't know
see.
if Sam can maybe bring up Craig Williams's lap times or something to see if he's made a mistake, or whether Sutton's found some extra pace. I suppose it's taken 5 laps to do it.
It looks like it's come on a little bit just in the second half of the race. I don't know whether tyre wear might be just be coming into the equation, maybe potentially, but there you go. And on that lap, he was actually a little bit quicker than Sutton. But now that the former BTCC champion is in his rearview mirror, Sutton has got him right where he needs him, because with 4 laps to go, including this one, he has got plenty of time to try and mount a challenge to take the victory here in race 2.
Yeah, solid battle going on behind them as well for 5th place between Adam Hedgecock, Apex Racing TV commentator, and Simon Trendell. Trendell's going for the inside. Oh, he thought about it. He's late on the brakes, but so is Adam Hedgecock. Very competent in his Audi TCR is Hedgecock. Oh, and that's oh dear, can't get my words out. Baker, I think, going up the inside of Berridge.
Blackhall in there as well. It's a battle of the bees, and it is a Breuer that is coming else on top here. Oh, that's very close.
Breuer and
That's Brevin Valor
and Newman. And who's this trying to push his way through the middle? It's Adam Hadfield. And that's a recovery drive from him. Ross Balfour has made his way into the top 10 now. 30 positions gained for Balfour. And he is just ahead of John Roberts now. But here's Newman, Adam, and that's a clean move there. Oh well.
Just about.
I've not really seen contact on the exit like that before many times.
Just to be sure, I reckon. Over the line come the leaders then. 3 laps to go, and Sutton's going for the lead. Up the inside goes Ash Sutton, former BTCC champion. Contact made with Williams and Oscar Mangan.
If we know anything about Craig Williams, he doesn't give up easily, does he, though?
Well, a Honda hairpin is coming up next, and if that's an overtaking opportunity, if that's not an overtaking opportunity, I don't know what is.
Here we go then. We're looking back at Craig Williams from Ash Sutton. Williams is going to send, isn't he? Surely he has to. Yes! Oh, he's close. He's close. He's almost got the overlap, Adam, but he doesn't quite. League rules state if you have an overlap, you have. If you get an overlap, sorry, the driver in front has to give you space.
Good try. Oh, and that was what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. If you stick 2 wheels into the grass there, then you really do lose a lot of straight line speed, and that's what's going to allow Oscar Mangan an opportunity to get 2nd place here. Up to Lukey Heights, the Irishman driving for Core Sim Racing. He will have the inside line for MG, but back comes the Craig Sedgwick car of Williams. Then off is Sedgwick, the race 1 winner.
Sedgwick's been off, and also Hadfield, I think, because he's been down a few places actually. I think Svidovic might have been off as well. Here's the replay. Take us through this.
There we go. So Siberia coming up here. He's getting.
It's Harrison that gets hit, but he spins.
But did Harrison get hit by the car behind him? Oh, and it keeps carrying on. Svidovic pinball wizard there.
So Sedgwick kind of lost the rear. But then the boosted car, which I assume is Berridge, it is, went on the grass and spins in front of him, comes and hits him into Wojciech Svidovic, and all sorts of nonsense going on there. Berridge in the pits. I would assume that that's a black and orange flag.
So that brings us to an end of Saturday race for Lee Berridge. He did start in the top 5. And it now ends it in the pits in a similar fashion to, I think, how race 1 went, sadly. Mangan looks like he's got 2nd place with a couple of laps to go. Well, just 1.5 laps to go, in fact.
These are important points for Mangan because he lost a lot of points to Turnbull in the first race, of course, and because Mangan had to come into the pits. Now he's going to get some of this back. Where is Turnbull? Well, out on the first lap was Turnbull, so maybe the second lap, I think it said. Very, very close together then between Mangan and Craig Williams. Through MG. Good exit by Mangan. Thompson's there, only 1 second behind. So we'll see if Josh can get in this fight. Ross Balfour is up to 8th. He's now passed Alex Simpson. Blackhall and Baker are on the fringes of the top 10 as well with their massive position gains that they've had. Mangan himself is up to 12. He's up 12 places from 15th on the grid. Side by side between Wojciech Svidovic and Jamie Wilson. Wilson's around the outside.
Start the final lap then. Former champion versus one of the new teams on the grid for this season. New driver as well. And Jamie Wilson looks like he might get it done. Oh, is he? Because there goes Wojciech back around the outside. He's managed to brake just a little bit later. And the former champion might just be able to hold on for now as here we are to fight for second.
It looked like he was maybe a little bit wide, Wodge there, but not quite. Williams trying the outside line at the hairpin, which is always very difficult to do, unless maybe your opponent's got dirt on their tyres or something, or just doesn't line up the exit properly. Neidhart drops down behind Preben Vala. Breuer is ahead of McFarlane now, so it's good for him. Sutton's been off, but not enough to affect this outcome, it doesn't appear, Adam, as they go up the hill for the final time.
And well, I did call it. I said if you wanted to bet big, then go for Mangan. He's up to second, but the safe money had always got to be with Ash Sutton. Started third on the grid and didn't look like he was going to be able to get by Williams for quite a while, but then managed to eat into the gap quite significantly during the middle part of the race, and then was able to get by the Craig setup shop car. And here he is. He's going to come through the final corner and take the second race of the day.
Here we go then. Across the line. It was a bit of a nightmare first race for Ash Sutton, but it's a dream in race 2 for the 2017 British Touring Car Champion. He comes across the line and takes the win. And look at this out of the final corner. This is going to be very close between Roberts and... Oh, is he going to get mugged by the Pure Sim boys? I think he is.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blackhall and Baker both ahead of Roberts. Roberts pushed out of the top 10. Harrison versus Hadfield was a very close affair as well.
Here is Toby Ward for Free Spires Motorsports, battling away with Kip Stevens, who we saw almost buried in the tyre barrier on the entry into the first corner earlier. And I think Toby Ward is just going to get him 32nd place, which in the grand scheme of things would put him 8th for race 3, because we have 38 cars set to be reversed, and the guy who is going to be sitting on pole position is Nathan Davis, who I think is no stranger to a reverse grid pole before. Here he comes.
No.
And it says watch this on the back. And we're going to be watching him start the race from pole position in race 3. One comment from the YouTube chat that I might just read out, because I did find it quite amusing. Sindre Setsas, the red banded drivers, the pros, they're the dangerous fast drivers. The blues, the pro-ams, they're the innocent victims.
Victims. Yeah, I mean, hey, we know that, don't we? We've been in this league before, and yeah, it does sometimes feel like a two separate sort of fields sometimes. In which case, but yeah, the AM drivers put up a hell of a fight, as they always do. And now we're going to go for a quick break here on the iRacing Esports Network, just a couple of minutes, because there is a warm-up going on before race 3. And here's the results, in fact, before we go for the break.
Yeah, so Ash Sutton wins race 2. Oscar Mangan 1 second away, then Craig Williams in P3. Josh Thompson up in 4th. That was a good recovery drive from Thompson, because at one point he was getting pushed left, right and centre, so good job there. Simon Trendle in 5th, then Adam Hedgecock, the highest of the victims, you could say, the highest of the Pro-Ams, in 6th. Then Ross Balfour, Mark Johnston, Alex Simpson in P9 for car 99, and Jake Blackhall completing the top 10. Then it's Dave Baker, John Roberts, Ross McFarlane, Marius Breuer, then Pete Newman, Dennis Neidhart, Preben Vala and Wojciech Svidovic completing the top 1.5 dozen. Jamie Wilson in 19th, then it's Adam Hadfield, then Kieran Harrison, Jack Sedgwick, Darius Neidhart, and then Damian Harris, Mark Woodhouse, Ben Gregory, Scott Malcolm there in 27th, then Jamie Rushworth for Freem UK, Fraser Smith there in 29th, Marcel Fritsch in 30th, Jason Stepney, Toby Ward, Kip Stevens, Michael Avdoka, then Norbert Leitner, Austin Foster, Lee Berridge, Nathan Davis there in 38th place, then Paolo Bremer, Joachim Gulbrandsen, Baron Glover in 41st, then Matt Turnbull, Rob Sutherland, Mads Borger, Adrian Campfield, and Eric Mickey in 46th place. I don't think he took the start, incidentally, for race 2.
All right, so yeah, now we're going to go for the break. Thanks for the timely nudge there, Sam. But yeah, we're going to go for a couple of minutes before the final race begins, as there is a warm-up going on. So we'll be back on the iRacing Esports Network in just a few minutes' time. And we're back on the iRacing Esports Network. Welcome everyone back to the ARLTC Championship, the third round of the evening from the Phillip Island circuit in Victoria, Australia. Andrew Woodhouse here alongside Adam Bath. And Adam, after all those years that we've been here and we've been, taking in races at this venue, you just notice the quality getting better and better every year, don't you? As you said, it used to be the curtain raiser.
Yeah, and in the past, this is where we'd be getting to grips with the new teams and the new drivers, but we've had that already, and now we're a couple of rounds into the season. Everybody's pretty much finding their feet, and it means that no one's nervous when they're racing one another, and they are really showing each other some good respects out there.
It's nice. It's nice to see that though, because we, like you say, we always come here and people aren't too sure about what's going to happen. It's like that year that Australia hosted, like I think the third Grand Prix of the season instead of the opener, and we saw quite an exciting race because everybody got into their stride. And Nathan Davies is someone, Adam, who, well, he's very much used to these reverse grid poles, as you said, very capable of winning from here.
Yeah, 2006 when Australia were hosting the Commonwealth Games, I think, on that one.
Right,
but yeah. Nathan Davis, on the pole for Wales. Speaking of Commonwealth, Lee Berridge in second, then Austin Foster in third, then Norbert Leitner in fourth, Michael Evdoka, Genk Dennis, Kip Stevens, Toby Ward, Jason Stepney, Marcel Fritsch for Austria in ninth, and Fraser Smith completing the top 10. Jamie Rushworth in 11th, 12th Scott Malcolm, then it's Ben Gregory, Mark Woodhouse, Damian Harris, and then Darius Neidhart, and the rest of the grid scrolling through your screen. And there's Josh Thompson, he'll be in 35th place, Oscar Mangan, Ash Sutton, they're in 38th, and there's the rest of them as here come the lights then for the final time tonight.
Yeah, watch for them charging through. But now the charge to the first corner commences again. Davies didn't get away that well. Berridge. It's not a bad second phase by Davies. He managed to clear Berridge into the fast first corner. Let's see if they all make it through here. My money's on not. Someone's going to go wide, surely, onto the grass. You know what? I give up, Adam. That's the first time I think we've ever seen them go through turn one and absolutely nobody goes off. Oh, well, there's someone off at turn two, and that's Adam Hedgecock.
Yeah, it is. I think one boosted car's been in trouble in every single race, and I think it's his turn.
Yeah, it is actually, isn't it? It was Roberts in race one, it was Berridge in race two, and it is Hedgecock now. Oh, somebody's been sort of squeezed, sort of almost fired off there, and that is a 3 Spires car in the gravel, and that is Rob Sutherland. So, yeah, he looked like he just got spat out of there, didn't he?
Yeah, and who's that in front of him? That's Jake Blackwell. Oh dear, no. The Australian evening is not going to end well. He's down in 43rd place, and
where did he start? He started in
29th.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gone badly, but he was already quite a way down the order. Oh wow, big traffic jam at MG. That's Vala, and just ahead of him is Savidovic. Somebody's been through the grass and maybe the gravel on the outside there, but it's all under control into this last corner. Do we know what this last corner's called? Don't remember.
I'll have a frantic check for you.
There we go. There's some good corner names here, and turn one is one that I actually do not know. But down the main straight we are. Sutton, 30th place. We're looking at him. He's trying to work on Alex Simpson now. Simpson's on the grass. He's back on, and I think that was maybe Paolo Bremer off on the grass as well in the background.
Turn one's doing.
The final corner.
Turn 12 is just turn 12.
Oh, well, that's boring, isn't it? Sort it out for the pilot. Name it after like Mark Webber or something. I don't know.
Oh no, problem for Norbert Leitner. He's gone backwards into Siberia, and now he's trying to get out of it. And so too is the 54 car Damian Harris. I wonder if those two have been involved as some seagulls go flying.
Thompson's off as well. Thompson's in the gravel, and Thompson's out of the race, I think.
Oh dear, no, Thompson.
Go back to the pits.
Josh Thompson, who had such a good race too after race one didn't go totally according to plan, and yeah, that's not how he wanted the evening to end.
Sutton working on Breuer then. Oh, this is big. This is the problem. Oh, I did well to get that stopped, Ash Sutton. I tell you, I don't think I would have done there, Adam.
I don't know how he managed to find that hole on the circuit. I thought he was just going to end up completely rear-ending someone.
He didn't gain a place through that, but he certainly didn't lose any.
Running on board with him. Great onboard shot here as we come onto the front straight to complete lap 2 of the race.
Yeah, it's almost the driver's eye view, isn't it? Not quite. It's just to the right of his helmet, but
imagine a parrot sitting on his shoulder. Yeah,
exactly. Let's see if he can get the treasure of a race win. I don't think he will from down here, to be honest, but hey, we've seen stranger things happen to Ash Sutton. Nathan Davies still leads then by half a second. Lee Berridge is coming under pressure from Michael Evdoka, and if you remember race 2, Michael Evdoka was extremely quick until he ended up in that collision with Kip Stevens.
Yeah, they're not too far away from one another once again, are they? Stevens in 5th, Evdoka 3rd as Sutton up the inside.
Gregory off.
There is the Free Spies Motorsports car. There is Sutton, who we've been riding on board with for the last lap or so. He's just on our outside.
Tell you what, Breuer is giving him a great battle, isn't he? Sorry to butt in there.
Yeah, welcome to the ARLTC, and he's already battling with Ash Sutton.
Sutton's going to send one, isn't he? He's going to get impatient, I think. I can see him getting more and more impatient by the second. Oh!
Foster!
Where's that?
And that's down at MG. The Deso Pit car is, well...
Hey, mate. That's about as far off as I've ever seen a car down there. But here is Sutton. He's finally got past Breuer then. Good driving by the German. Keeping behind for 2 or 3 laps. Great shots as the cars fly through that final corner. It's a cacophony of noise, and Davies, well, he's maintained the lead here. Evdoka's going to try and dance around him, I think, to the lead, but it's not going to be that easy to get past the Welshman as one of the Freem cars test the limits of the track on the outside of turn 1.
There's Dennis Neidhart. He's battling away with one of the Team Mad cars. That's Scott Malcolm. Also involved there is Ash Sutton up 18 places, trying to make it 19 through Stoner Bend. And a change for the lead as Michael Evdoka up the inside of Honda, and he's managed to get by Nathan Davies.
Perfect stuff there from Evdoka. I wonder if we can get the replay actually of the... oh, well, we might have something else on our hands here because there's bumping and barging. Oh, and that's... oh, big contact, a lot of contact going on. And off goes Simon Trendle. And that was... can't quite see who that is. The Pure Sims car. I think it might have been... was it Baker that was involved in that in the middle of all that? Oh, it's Turnbull. It's Turnbull with the yellow mirrors. It's the championship leader. Well, he might not be now actually because of his DNF in race 2 actually. It will be quite close with Oscar Mangan at this point. And Baker actually, Baker could be up there, couldn't he? Because Baker and Sedgwick got really good points in both races. Sorry, mate.
And don't forget, there's no showdown this year, so drivers can't have that on.
Oh yeah.
In their minds, thinking that the points could be reset and they can go again. All these rounds will be vital in terms of making sure they don't lose any touching distance to the cars.
Oh, someone's off. Scott Malcolm. Oh wow. He's almost in Tasmania, mate. I think. Careful, Scott. Oh, well done. Well done. I don't know if he pulled the hand. Oh, that's Balfour, and that's massively off. That's a long way off through the gravel for Balfour. It was interesting to see last weekend actually that video with Romain Grosjean when he was talking about having being showered with gravel after he'd been punted off.
Amazed how that car finished the race after they took
no idea. Raikkonen's car as well. It was up in the air at one point and managed to finish. Absolutely no clue how those two made it to the end, but they did. Sometimes you wonder how some of these cars get to the end in the ARLTCR as the sun is setting beautifully here in Australia. It's a gorgeous setting near the coast.
How did
uh,
we? How
what's
on earth
that?
did we
Sorry.
get these cars to the end of the Nürburgring 24 hours? Didn't we have about we had about two engine changes.
No, we had one engine change. We had one
Oh,
engine change. After I, to be fair, the first one, well, oh dear, got hit as he came past, didn't he? There, Foster, I think he smashed into the side of him. No, I ruined the first engine, and that's why it had to be changed because I balked it essentially. And then you driving it with all the other repairs ended up breaking it. But I was the culprit of that one. Second engine we got was fine. The fun part was that we kept finding the bonnet, didn't we? The bonnet kept going missing, and then we kept getting a new one. But it was never quite it was never a straight one. It was always like a crumpled version of the one we started the race with. Hey, we won the race. What can we say? We won the bloody race after 24 hours, and what an effort it was. As I keep reminding everybody on the broadcast, of course.
Both are your first stint and my last stint were what, about 5 or 6 hours?
5 or 6 hours. None of this 15-minute nonsense, honestly. But beautiful driving exhibited out on the track today on Phillip Island. Jason Staney is making good. Well, he's making a good fist of keeping his top 10 position. He started in 8th. He is still 8th, so he's held that place. Biggest mover in this race, Adam? Any guesses? Ash Sutton.
23 places.
Yeah.
It's the next
We knew
highest after that. Yeah,
we knew he'd move forward, didn't we? But
oh, he's a man on a mission here today. I think he does really like this track. We did say at the beginning of the show that I think he managed to win a race here by gaining 30 plus places a couple of years ago. And there he is in 15th. If he carries on at that pace, granted the cars in front of him are a bit more spread out, but he might still fancy his chances of getting in the top 10. We are just over halfway through this race.
Turnbull with 18 places getting them. I'm guessing that was the next thing out of your mouth. But yeah, Turnbull having a great season so far. First season in the championship. This is Ward versus Mark Johnston, and Johnston is tough customer, as we've said. Ward trying his very best to get through.
A track like Phillip Island, I think this might be one of the tracks where we have to get the cars that started inside the top 10 to finish there. Has there been something going on at the Honda hairpin?
I think it has.
Yeah. Oh, and it's kicking off still in the background. That was Hadfield that I think we just saw rejoining. And here are two cars that have been hitting each other. I think it's Ash Sutton who has just got by Dennis Neidhart. And I think Neidhart wasn't too pleased with the way he managed to get by him.
You can tell with the body language of the car, he's flashing his lights. The problem is, you're too close to him, you won't be able to see your lights. You're right next to him. Oh, he's going for it up the inside now. Is he going to have a go into the hairpin? I feel sure he's going to try and chuck one in here, just by the body language of the car. Thinks about it. Sutton's very late on the brakes, though, isn't he? One of the latest breakers in the history of this series, and possibly in touring cars in real life as well. Very, very good indeed.
Drives the rear-wheel drive Infinity in real life. Here it's a front-wheel drive Audi, but I guess some principles are the same.
He has driven the front-wheel drive car, of course. I think we said this a couple of weeks ago. He drove the MG when he joined the BTCC. He's driven some TCR action as well in the past. I think it was a Golf, possibly on that occasion. But it is, I tell you, you know, there were calls for him to test the Formula One car at the end of last year. I mean, you know, his talent. He said he drives the Infinity. He's got infinite talent. And, you know, why not give him a shot in an elite level?
Hope so though, yeah. Oh, and someone's off again. Is that Hadfield again at Honda? Yes, it is. The Swift Cooper Esports car reversing, 3-point turn, get going again. And at the front...
Oh, dear.
Blackhall.
Change of underwear for Blackhall, possibly, though.
And here is Jack Sedgwick up into second place. He won race one. He tried everything he could to make sure he won race one. And here he is back up into second place at the back end of the evening. And he's 3.5 seconds off Michael Avdoka. Can he catch him in the remaining couple of laps?
Evdoka's cleared off, hasn't he? And was very quick earlier on. So it's going to be a very difficult ask for Jack Sedgwick to close that gap. But if anybody can at the moment, it'll be he or it'll be Kieran Harrison. Now, the thing that could be their downfall is if they start fighting hard, which it appears that they might be doing. Sedgwick is currently at the head of this battle, but Kieran Harrison, like I say, the man who's been fastest in pretty much every practice session this season, is trying to best Sedgwick in the race. And if we know anything about Jack Sedgwick, Adam, he's a very, very tough competitor. I mean, the last couple of seasons, could have won a title in both of them.
Yeah, I thought by now we wouldn't have to see the number 3 on his car. I'm sure at one point a couple of years ago at Daytona in the final round, it looked destined that he would be entering the next season with number 1 on his car, but things just didn't happen in that season finale at Daytona a couple of years back. Here is Nathan Davis. He's got Jamie Rushworth in front of him. I think Rushworth's having his best race of the evening so far here in the Freem UK Cup, and I think he'd be hoping to keep it that way as he tries to hold on to his spot in the top 5.
I'll give this for Nathan. This has been a good defence of this, a good defence of that pole position. Considering who he's been up against, to only be down to 6th by this point, I think it is very, very good indeed. And he's currently stymieing the advances of Wojciech Savinovic, who's trying to shimmy his way around the outside at MG, but not quite able to do so. And we're coming up to 4 laps to go then when Evdoka crosses, which he's doing now.
Davis top of the Pro-Am table as well. And I think that will stay the same even if Wojciech Savinovic gets by. Here he comes. These two were once teammates.
Now side by side behind as well. Craig Williams looking to, sorry, it's Jason Staney, trying to make up some positions. But yeah, you're right, they were, weren't they, in 2017, I believe.
Pete Newman also making it 2 Freem UK cars inside the top 10 as things stand. He's trying to make it 2 inside the top 9 here as he goes into battle with Jason Staney. Up the inside goes the Craig setup shop car, and he might just have it, but Pete Newman's going to try and hold it out round the outside. Next corner's left-hander at Siberia. Throws it up the inside there.
Yeah, that's nice. Good driving.
Oh, good move.
Good driving from Newman. Good driving from Stanley as well to give him the space. It could have been so easy for him to just squeeze him or run him out of road somewhere. Decided not to do that. Fair driving. Oh, good move. Good switch by McFarlane. Really good job of getting through into Lukey Heights. And that's the reigning champion up into the top 10. Who have we got moving swiftly through the field? Matthew Turnbull plus 21. Oscar Mangan plus 17. Craig Williams plus 17. Ash Sutton plus 25. 15s for Newman, Svidovic, Harrison and Sedgwick. 16 for McFarlane and Johnston. 15 for Mats Borger Anderson, up from 44th on the grid. Really stellar performances going on out on the track today, Adam.
Another testament for this championship and another testament for this track. We've gone on about it all evening. I don't think there's going to be many drivers that are going to walk away from here and say they had 3 terrible races. Let's say it that way. I think every driver, at least in one race today, has had a good one. Harrison trying to take 2nd place away from Sedgwick here, going into the Honda hairpin. Sedgwick's not going to give it up too easily, we know that. Is he going to go into Siberia? Oh, wow.
As the track starts to become golden underneath the cars in certain shots as the sun sets here in Australia. The southern coast. Yeah, it is a beautiful spot for a motor race. 4 wheels or 2. There is the sun making the appearance, and yeah, that glow. It's like they're racing on solid gold.
Now the Gold Coast, now that would be a track to have on iRacing, wouldn't it?
there'll be some chicanes, won't they?
Or curb hopping to the extreme, I think.
Paradise or whatever. It's the other one, isn't it? Big slipstream coming up for. Was that a missed shift? It sounded very chunky.
Harrison was just waiting till the very last moment.
Oh, but not alongside, and that's important for Cedric at least. They are catching Evdoka, but only by a couple of tenths a lap due to the fact that they are battling hard. Well, it was 5 tenths on the previous lap, but Evdoka knows he's only got a couple of laps to go. He just needs to keep up a solid pace, and he's going to get to the end. He's going to win this race. And Michael Evdoka, he's won races before in this championship. Let's be honest, he knows what he's doing out there. But this will be a momentous one, I think. Cedric on the inside of Harrison. Harrison's he's trying everything he can, Adam, but Cedric's car is being placed absolutely perfectly by the man with the world license.
We've seen how good he is when it comes to defending. Jack Cedric. It's been inch perfect all evening. We saw that really pretty much right from the get-go at the start of race 1. And we saw that throughout the first race as well when he managed to take the win. Get clear, and the moment he was clear, he'd be chopping across his opponents, which is perfectly entitled to do, I guess. And here he is, doing just that once again, and maybe not being as defensive as he was in race 1, but positioning his car just where it needs to be, so that when Harrison tries to get a move done, like into Honda hairpin midway around the lap, the HM engineering car isn't able to get the position, and he's just got to do that now for one more lap as the white flag is in the air. Michael Evdoka comes across the line, and 2 seconds down the road are these two squabbling over that second spot.
Yeah, and it's been a great scrap, hasn't it, between these two, and you know, Evdoka has driven beautifully. Oh, this is almost 2 by 2 into one, so we say. And that's Jason Staney around the outside of turn 1. What a lovely move that is. And that's Nathan Davis trying to stave off Ash Sutton. Now, if you want box office, you want potential for delight and disaster, you've got to look at Nathan Davis versus Ash Sutton. Surely.
Let's wait and see.
Might even go for it in the Honda hairpin. Or Sutton. Oh yeah. He's trying to open the door, isn't he, Davis? Not really fazed by that too much. That's Newman trying to defend from McFarlane, but Sutton's through. He snuck through, so he got a good exit from the hairpin. Michael Evdoka then, as the evening draws in, Adam, he's coming through Lukey Heights for the last time.
Not too long to go. Look how much they've closed the gap down by, but I'm sure Evdoka's not too concerned about that.
He'll be cruising home from here. Just a couple of corners to go from Evdoka then. 2 long left-handers. Negotiated the first one well. He's flashing the lights. He knows he's going to do it. He knows that victory's just around the corner. And here we go. Michael Evdoka then to the checkered flag, and it waves for him.
Does it?
Race 3. Yeah, he's absolutely delighted, isn't he? Really is. And what a close finish for second.
Close fight here to the line. Turnbull versus Harris, and Williams involved as well. And over the line it's Johnston heading home Turnbull, and then Williams there with Leitner just outside the top 20. Jake Blackmore, the Aussie, in a 34th place, sorry, in the end.
No, yeah, Harris was just ahead of them. So there we go. Roughly not up them. Oh, tell me when.
So yeah, Josh Thompson, sad end to the evening for him. I don't know what that will mean in terms of his championship aspirations, but yeah, race 2 was a crumb of consolation for him. He did very well in that one. He fell down the order very early on, but was able to fight back and managed to get in the top 4 in the end, as the siren will probably be blaring for a couple of minutes now as all of the cars make their return journey to the pits. I wonder which... Oh, hello.
Oh!
Evdoka gets turned around. I wonder which commentator will be on the PA announcement. I don't know whether Paul Smith's been handed a contract by Phillip Island.
Or it could be Connery. You never know. Good to see those guys in the sim. That's well deserved for their hard work as well. And yeah, great to see that. because that's a little touch that, you know, casuals will appreciate because it's a little detail, but people who know, who know these people, and yeah, they'll think it's pretty cool, and I certainly do. And here is the result of race 3, Adam, on the screen.
So Michael Avdoka wins for Pure Sims OBP. Great job there by Avdoka. 1.4 seconds ahead of Jack Sedgwick in the end. Kieran Harrison and Fraser Smith, the two HM engineering cars, finishing 3rd and 4th. An MP5 for Wojciech Savidovic, one of his best results of the evening so far. Well, best result of the evening, I should say, because we are out of races. Jamie Rushworth and Pete Newman, Free UK will be delighted with that. They're 6th and 7th. Ross McFarlane, reigning champion, in 8th. Then Jason Sterney in 9th. And Ash Sutton completing the top 10. 11th for Nathan Davis. Then it's Lee Berridge, Kip Stevens. Then Dennis Neidhart in 14th. Mark Woodhouse for Team Mad in P15. 16th for David Baker. Then Damien Harris in 17th. Mark Johnston for Hesketh Racing in 18th. He was just ahead at the line of Matt Turnbull and Craig Williams. We saw how close those guys were as they streamed across the line. Craig Williams in 20th. Then it's Craig Williams in 20th. Then it's Norbert Liner 21st. Terry Ward. Then Marcel Fritsch. Ben Gregory. Then Alex Simpson. Jamie Wilson. Oscar Mangan there in 27th place. Then Mads Borger in 28th. 29th place finish for John Roberts. And then Adam Hadfield, who we saw around quite a few times at the Honda Hairpin, in 30th. Ross Balfour, 31st. We saw him making his own version of the Southern Loop early on. Then Simon Trendle in 32nd. 33rd place for Preben Valor. Jake Blackhall, the Aussie, who had a good first 2 races, but then race 3, he got turned around early on and couldn't recover from there. Darius Neidhart in 35th and his teammate Marius Breyer in 36th. Then it's Rob Sutherland, Adam Hedgecock, Baron Glover, Scott Malcolm, Joachim Gorbranson, Paolo Bremer, the Italian, who I think we saw turned around into the tyre barrier in race 2. Things didn't get much better in race 3. There's Josh Thompson out very early on, and I think in the end he was only ahead of Adrian Canfield and Eric Mickey.
All right, well done again. And well done to the drivers. Nearly everybody finished. Nearly everybody performed great tonight. And yeah, we always look forward to seeing the cars going at it in anger around Phillip Island. We don't have any drivers in the interview room at the moment. So
have a look at the
we can have a look at the
calendar.
The calendar.
Yeah. Coming up for the rest of the season, because if anything from this race meeting's to go on, then we could be in for a very exciting continuation of the season, I think. So,
well, next week we head to Belgium, and it's Zolder.
Oh wow! Okay.
Which is always a great circuit because it's very narrow. The walls are pretty close. It's almost got a little bit of a street circuit feel in places. A lot of chicanes as well, a lot of heavy braking. It's going to test the braking capabilities of the drivers. And you've got to expect with so many heavy braking zones that someone like Ash Sutton's going to be strong there, don't you really?
Yeah, and I think we're going to go from a circuit where overtaking is pretty straightforward, pretty easy to come by, to a circuit where you've really got to plan your overtaking moves. I think some of them might be a couple of laps in the making, because it is very tough to get overtakes done there. The chicanes are very tight, plus the curbs are very high as well, so there isn't too much room for manoeuvre. And I think we will really see who is the best in this series at that track when we go to it next week.
And then it's the Motorsport Circuit, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Now that one, I would say, if you were to compare that to a track, I'd probably compare it to here, actually.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one.
Not just in layout, but in sort of undulation and sort of danger.
A few more long straights on Motorsport, which will help as well.
Yeah, one in particular, one big long straight heading into that final sector, which has claimed a few victims in this series over the years. You think of the classic one, don't you? Kip Stevens and Wojciech Svidovic's title challenges came to Kip Stevens' title challenge came to an end there in 2016.
Round 7 should be good. Charlotte
Yes, it will.
Roval.
Yeah, now that is most likely the earlier configuration. We're going to have to probably get a confirmation close to the time exactly which layout it's going to be, but because there are a couple now.
Do they have the old horrific bus stop chicane on the sim still?
I think they do, and I think we should have it.
Wow.
Because we, why not? Why not have a bit of? It'll look like Wreckfest out there, I think. But it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it for the memes, I think. Laguna Seca will be great next. I love this track. It's a terrific circuit in Northern California. Very hot, very humid, very tricky. Major undulation here. Corkscrew, one of the most difficult corners probably out there in terms of, especially if you're battling someone in there, Adam, side by side. We've seen, great moves there over the years and some disasters too.
I love that circuit. I forget how good it is, but whenever I end up watching a race there or having a go at it on various different sims, it is brilliant. After that, round 9, Barcelona. It looks like from the track map on the Apex Racing League website, we're not using the Grand Prix chicane at the very end of the lap, which should.
Well,
make
if Dan
things pretty
Fitzpatrick's got
interesting.
anything to do with it, then we won't be, no, and he
No.
probably does. So
Well, we saw how good it was with Rossi v Lorenzo when there was no chicane there. Oh, of course,
Yeah.
that was on the bikes, but that could make things pretty interesting going into the final corner.
I will make it clear. I think I love this layout, and I think for slower cars, i.e. these, and not like Formula One machines, I think those last two corners are great because you can just sit in behind and wait for the big long straight. You can make your move down there, and also some terrific corners like Campsa and from turn 3 as well, which is going to be a big test in these cars. It's going to be great. And then round 10, we head east. We head to the Far East specifically, and the Twin Ring Motegi circuit in Japan.
Track we haven't been to in a while. And we
We've
do
had
have
some night races there, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, raced on the oval as well. We do have two
very,
drivers.
Very quickly, I was just going to say
Yeah.
we might as well finish it before we speak to them. So after Motegi is Monza, Cathedral of Speed, heavy braking. Turn 1's going to be interesting. A lot of long straights. Round 12, Donington National. I know you'll be very interested in that one. Amazing circuit again, quite similar to Phillip Island in many ways too. And round 13, the season finishes. And this is a great curveball, isn't it? It finishes at Sebring in Florida. And that is a great circuit, and that's one that we always love to see here on the service. Now, we've got Fraser Smith and Kieran Harrison to come and speak to us. So I think we'll grab Fraser first, as he was the one who hasn't really had a lot of the spotlight today, but he did get 4th place in the final race. Fraser, can you hear us, mate?
I can indeed. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. Yeah, enjoying that meeting and enjoying some of the racing here. Good final race, mate. I know you started near the back in race 1, and it was a hard fight back then in those 2 rounds for you.
Yeah, I've been in the wars a bit the last couple of weeks. Partly, like sometimes I thought I'd left a bit more space for people and I hadn't, and just once you've been basically excluded from qualifying and you have to start from the back, it's difficult to get back. So I had to basically start from the back today, but there's like 8 or 9 other people who also had to do it, and because I had joined last into the session, started last, and then had to start from the pits, and never mind.
I mean, obviously that puts you back quite a way, but in the final round, the reverse grid was pretty kind to you. You started in 10th place. Can you take us through what happened in the final race?
Yeah, I say that was kind of about time sort of thing. 2 weeks now, I've just sort of been trying to get back to where I feel I should be, and then that one I got 2 positions off the start line. I don't know if other people got a bit of wheel spin or whatnot, and then from there I just sort of stayed out of trouble and picked up a few spots. But I had Jack Sedgwick and Kieran behind me, and the one lap I make a bit of a mistake into one of the hairpins. They both got a run on me then, and I just sort of thought it was best to just follow them and hold on to where I was, really, and it paid off. So
It's amazing. It always amazes me when I watch these races and when I compete in them sometimes as well, just how little an opportunity people need to get through. I mean, this is how attuned to this car pretty much everybody in this league who's raced it before, at least, is. They can get through the tiniest gap, the smallest chance, and they're right there. And I guess that's what happened to you today. But fourth place is a great result to take to Zolder next week. And I mean, what are your thoughts about that track? It's quite a bit different to Phillip Island, isn't it?
it is. I was just speaking with Kieran about it a moment ago, and both of us haven't really. Well, I don't think he's ever driven there. I've done a few laps. I think when I first started iRacing, I did a few laps there, so I wouldn't really say I'm that experienced with it. I did I think I did one league race there, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of practice there to be where I want to be. But it should be a good track, I think, if everyone can just keep it in one piece.
Yeah, good fun circuit though, and I'm sure you're gonna have some fun there. Before we let you go, mate, if you give a shout out to your team, your sponsors, your friends, whoever you want to say hi to, really.
So, firstly, all my teammates from Full Sim Racing. A lot of them aren't racing this, so joined up with Kieran and Norbert from HM Engineering. They've been great. We've obviously helped each other out, trying to get good setup together, and yeah, they've been great. And just everyone who's puts it on, appreciate all the work.
Well done. Congratulations on that fourth place, and yeah, hopefully there'll be more to come next time.
I hope so.
Cheers, mate.
See you later, guys.
And Adam Bath has found Kieran Harrison.
Kieran, welcome to the commentary box.
Hello.
Well, it was a pretty entertaining evening from us up here, and I think the same could be said for you as well. The HM Engineering car was flying today.
Yeah, for sure. It's overall a good evening, I think. Sedgwick might have outdone me for points tonight, but still, I'd take a double podium. And even the second race, I had a bit of an off track halfway through the race, with some contact, but it's still a decent position, and it just helped my grid position for race 3 anyway. So, yeah, a really good night for me.
What is it about this Phillip Island circuit? Because we've seen so many drivers gain tons of places across the 3 races today. What are the characteristics about this track that make it so easy to get some overtakes done around here?
I think it's primarily there seems to be it's always left right. So if you're on the outside for one corner, you'll be on the inside for the next, which makes outside overtakes a little bit more viable. It certainly helped me coming through the field in race 3, particularly on the outside into the hairpin, turn 4, I believe, or turn 5. Then getting the inside for the following corner, it helps greatly. Also, it's sort of a sea of green on the outside of the track, so it's very easy to make a mistake and get your references mixed up, which helps I guess it helps force people into errors when you're pressuring them from behind.
And race 1 as well, there was a chance where you almost could have got the win. It was very close between you, Jack Sedgwick, and Ross McFarlane, all going for the win in the closing stages.
That race started out a bit frustrating for me. I made 3 or 4 mistakes early on. I think I was back in P7 briefly, but I eventually got it together and managed to come back through. And on the last lap, I think it was 3 wide into the hairpin that I mentioned earlier. I thought I was going to be killed there for sure, but amazingly we all managed to get through and hold on with a clean finish.
Next week, then we head to we don't head to Motorsport. We head to Zolder in Belgium. We were saying before we had the interviews that we've gone from one of the tracks that creates the most overtaking to one that's probably going to be one of the most tough to get overtakes done. Would you agree on that?
Well, I hate to say it again, as I said the same thing last week. It's another track I've never driven before. I've only just bought it on iRacing, so I can't really comment. But I'm looking forward to learning it. Hopefully the overtake better than you suggest, but we'll have to wait and see.
Great. Well, before we let you go, Kieran, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to say thanks to everybody at Apex Racing and you guys, the commentary team, and also my team, HM Engineering, and both of my teammates for this series, Fraser and Norbert.
Great. Well, well done today for you and the HM Engineering guys, and yeah, we'll hopefully get to see you back at the front again, scrapping it out for the lead next week.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you very much.
All right, well, fantastic meeting, Adam, and like I say, it's good to see this track coming in at a different point in the season and really delivering.
Really enjoyed that race meeting. Yeah, race 1, race 2, and race 3, all of them had drama. And well, it's sometimes we like to see the guys at the back of the field have their work cut out, but today they were really showing why they are some of the best in the business here in the ARLTC, pulling off all sorts of moves to get towards the front. And those overtakes could prove pivotal in terms of deciding the destiny of the championship. So we could look back at this and say it's a really important race meeting.
Yeah, an old school championship setup where points mean prizes. It definitely is going to go right to the wire. Well, we've still got, how many meetings have we got left? Well, we got 9 meetings left. That's 27 races, and they're all going to be here live on the iRacing Esports Network. So big thank you to everybody who's watched tonight, either on the iRacing Esports Network or on the Apex Racing TV channel as well. And we'll see you back here in 1 week's time from Circuit Zolder in Belgium. From Andrew Woodhouse from Adam Bath, and thanks to Sam Kumo once again for the great camera work. It's good night from us from Phillip Island. See you next time.